So the first one that came out was the Eagles' decision. And that one's simpler. That one's cleaner. What happened was Penn State coach James Franklin, just after Saquon Barkley chose to sign with the Eagles, Franklin was talking to reporters, and he said that Philadelphia's pitch included GM Howie Roseman telling Barkley that there are plenty of Penn State fans who are also Eagles fans. On the surface, who cares? But it spoke to Franklin believing that Roseman spoke directly to Barkley during that 52-hour negotiating window where, under the rules, the only communications that can happen are players, agent, and team, unless the player represents himself. Barkley doesn't, so they couldn't speak to Barkley directly, period. If they had found that there had been communications directly between Howie Roseman and Saquon Barkley, it would have been a violation of the rules. And the precedent for that goes back to 2016 when the Chiefs lost a third-round pick and were fined various amounts for tampering with former Eagles receiver Jeremy Maclin the prior year, specifically speaking directly to him during the 52-hour negotiating window before the start of free agency, when deals can be done between player and team, but only via communications with the player's agent. Again, unless the player is self-represented, but that's not relevant in any of these cases. So here's the announcement that was issued by the NFL. After a thorough review of the Philadelphia Eagles signing of Saquon Barkley, the NFL today informed the club that the investigation did not discover sufficient evidence to support a finding that the anti-tampering policy was violated. In coming to this conclusion, the league reviewed phone logs, text messages, and other documents related to Philadelphia's free agency strategy and decision to sign Barkley. The NFL also interviewed several members of the organization, including Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni, as well as Barkley and Penn State head coach James Franklin. As with every review, should new evidence be uncovered, the league may reopen the investigation. So, look, it looks like the NFL really did everything in its power to get to the truth. Was there forbidden communication with Saquon Barkley during the 52-hour negotiating window? And there's some equivocation in the language. Didn't find sufficient evidence. Well, you found some. It doesn't say we found no evidence. It doesn't say the whole thing was just bogus. It doesn't say James Franklin misspoke. They just didn't find enough evidence to come to the conclusion that there was tampering. I don't know how much strategy was put into the wording of it, but the way lawyers usually do things, and surely the legal department at the NFL vetted this, crafted it, revised it, maybe just wrote the whole thing. Every word has meaning. And it sounds like there was something there, but there wasn't enough to come to the conclusion that there was tampering. And look, I thought, based upon the reporting from Adam Schefter of a couple of weeks ago, when he said that the resolution was coming, and this would have been the week of June 3rd, Monday the 3rd, at some point that week, both decisions were supposed to come. He said that the Falcons were expected to get it worse than the Eagles, which implied the Eagles were getting something. The Eagles ended up getting nothing. And I said at the time, well, you know what? Maybe the Eagles are going to get a third-round pick taken from them, because if you go to the Eagles and you press them and you have the evidence from James Franklin, maybe they just admit to it and take their punishment. Yes, we spoke to him. We're sorry. Do with us what you will, because we know what happens when the league believes you've lied to them. If they find out the truth later, it's even worse. And they left that little door open at the end with the should additional evidence come to light in the future, this could change. And if they would find out that they all got together, got their ducks in a row, remember that phrase from Bountygate, the league got pissed when they came to the conclusion that the Saints got their ducks in a row, and got them even harder, I think, than they would have if the Saints had just admitted it. Now, that's all supposition and speculation. For now, they did the investigation, and they came to the conclusion there is no violation. That's part one. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.